Oh. I gotta do a chat. I gotta do a live, I mean. I didn't get a video out to you guys today because it was raining like crazy, so I needed to at least do a live for y'all. So talk to me, what you want to know. When I'm looking here, I can see the questions, so don't mind me. Hell's on two wheels. What's up, man? If y'all can hear my fan going, let me know if it's too loud. If my audio's not good, let me know. And if the visual's not good, let me know. I got a lot of mosquitoes, so you might see me knocking them off every now and then. Let me get to the live chat, see if y'all got any questions. Looking new engine builder, took the bike to George. You did? Okay. Okay. Jonathan Walton, what is it you want to know, my friend? What is it you want to know? Hell's on two wheels. Where you from, man? You from Florida or where you from? Let me get y'all a better angle, man. I don't know if this angle's gonna do it for y'all today. I think I'm blocking most of the motorcycle, right? Hold on. Let me get y'all a better angle. You know, the bike want to be seen. They don't want to see me as much as they want to see the bike. So let me get the bike right for you. And I'm gonna sit off to the side. Matter of fact, I want y'all to see that seat too, man. It's that new Bad Boy Cycle seat. So hold on, I got it. I'm answering questions in 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Make sure we right. Okay. So a lot of guys have joined in. Let me see. I'm gonna start from the top, guys. Let's see. Do I miss the street glide? Let me tell you. Let me be honest with you. I miss the sound, as in the music in the street glide, but I don't miss the street glide anymore. You know, that's about it for me with the street glide. So, I mean, I think we could have went a little further with it. I mean, not as far as I'm going with this, but further with that bike, and I just didn't give it the chance. So, I did what I could with it though. Yeah, that's a front wheel. That's a 21. Remember, that's this SMT. That's the name of the company that makes it, and actually, they made me a rear wheel as well. Hey, if you haven't gotten that seat, grab that seat, man. I promise you, you can't go wrong with that seat. If you're looking for an aggressive seat that has some comfort to it when you just want to put your legs up on the highway and just ride, that's the seat. Now, if you're a real tall guy, remember, stick with that Freedom seat. But if you're an average, shorter guy, you know, 5'10", 5'11", something like that too, that's the seat for you. Because it's adjustable. Don't forget, you can still, you know, get that backrest however you want. Let me get out your way a little bit more. Just going down the line, fellas. Okay, you from Daytona? Hell's on two wheels, you from Daytona, cool. Hey, you know what? Let me know if you're down there. I don't know what you get done to the bike, and I don't tell nobody's business. So, when you go to pick it up, just let me know. I might slide down there. The oil pump I'm running, this is a stock oil pump. Remember, 21 and up, you got a good oil pump. Anything else, I would change it. I really couldn't tell you who to go to. I know a lot of people use the S&S, so that might be a good idea. The new rear fender, I know that's what you're asking me. To be quite honest with you, it ain't my style. I thought it was because of the extended bags. Remember, you know, on a special it comes with the 4.5. Really not feeling it, really not digging it, but I do have a new rear fender that I'm going to bring to you guys. So if you watch me on Instagram, you watch my stories or my reels, you'll see what I'm putting on there later. So guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's The Real Official Mac. Go over there and start following me. You'll see a lot of the stuff, most of the time a lot earlier, and a lot of the stuff that I don't put on YouTube, I do put on Instagram. Instagram is a little more lenient, and you know, I'm not trying to make a dollar, but Instagram doesn't stop me from, you know, using copyright music and stuff like that to even have a little fun with you guys. So oh, the promo code, hey, no problem, dog. Hey, listen, remember, I don't do a lot of promoting for people. I'll tell you how I feel about a product that I bought, but if I'm promoting for someone, I'm going to make sure there's some kind of give back to somebody who's watching the channel. That's just the way it is. But that seat is a killer. Like I tried to explain, man, I try to explain to guys as best I can, and is layman the version is, you know, something that I would be able to understand if I was watching a video. So just to say the least, durable, comfortable, really sit you in the seat. If you watched the video when I introduced that seat, I showed you a little dry test run on the bike. I couldn't show the whole thing, but we beat on the bike pretty good that night. I mean, George put some passes on the bike. I put some passes on the bike. I really wanted to see how the seat was locking us both in, because I'm a little taller than George, but you know, he wasn't like tiptoeing the bike or nothing like that, so really worked out. The tire size or the front wheel? I mean, it's a 21 front wheel, and I think the tire is like a 120, maybe. Matter of fact, I'll take a look. I'm sure you were asking what the wheel size was. I think it's a 120/30. What else we got going on? I'm gonna start doing some story time with y'all, honestly. You guys know I do drag race, and every now and then I get out there and play with the bike, and you know, things happen sometimes. You win, you lose. I can tell a little bit about the stories when I'm out at certain things, and even when I'm riding the other bike, and you know, just being in that atmosphere or being at the racetrack and actually racing at the racetrack. Nah, man, it's not a fat tire. It's not a fat tire, but I will start doing some of that. I just got to see what the vibe is. If you guys like it, if you don't want to hear it, I don't want to be telling a bunch of stories that nobody really wants to hear, but I want to give y'all something different that nobody else is really bringing to their channels. My channel is probably, it's just in my opinion, the most 100% honest channel you're going to find. I always try to tell things from my perspective. Remember, I've only been riding Harleys for about, I'm probably going on my 4th year, honestly. I bought my bike in 2018. My first Harley, we're in 2022 now, so running into 2023 will be my 4th year, really. The bill to talk, couldn't deliver now, I'm getting into South Florida scene. Okay. Well, my story time, like I said, is probably going to be more on the either behind the scenes of races or my own races or past races that I've had, and even races that I've had with my sport bike. I don't know if you guys are really into the sport bike thing, but racing is racing, going fast is going fast. Now, I'm going to come out with a video, and it's going to be along the lines of, I had a guy comment on one of the videos, and he said that his, what kind of bike did he have? He had a Honda, but it was a 900. It's like one of those older 929s. And he's like, you know, and I guess he owns a Harley as well, and he basically tried to tell me that his CBR was just so much faster because he just knows how slow his Harley is. So, and I hate to burst bubbles, but I basically told him I had a CBR 9292 back in the day. It almost killed me about 3 times, but I had one, and it wasn't the fastest bike that I've ever ridden. But to compare the two, I'll go into details a little later and kind of set him straight. But I'll do that another day. The shocks that I only run the Legend suspension. That's just me. It's kind of been, I won't say I was talked into it, but I will say he had more knowledge about that than a lot of the other ones to do the same, pretty much the same thing that I'm doing with my bike. So drag racing and comfort, we went for Legends. Anything else, I couldn't give you my honest opinion on it because I haven't really rode on anything else. Well, I take that back. I rode Olin's, but I didn't really ride it to get performance out of it. And on the race bike, I run Penske. I did not get the Easy Pull kit. I did it afterwards. So if you're doing an Ames lockout clutch, you can do the kit. I just didn't do it at the time, but that would be your best bet to do the full kit, especially if you're running heavier springs in your clutch. If you're running heavy springs in the clutch, and I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah, in the beginning you're all right with it, but after a while you get sick and tired of it because it starts to get heavy, you know, and sometimes if you're riding hard and you go to pull the clutch, it giving you that fight. You don't want that. You want to easy get through the gears if you use a clutch like that. So that's just something to look out for. There's another piece I added to the clutch kit. If you have a problem, hit me up and I'll tell you what it was later so you can grab that too. But just that setup right there, I don't know how much horsepower you're running. And I'm talking occasion HD. If you have a problem with that setup, I'll try and steer you in the right direction on what to do next. Suspension's your thing? Okay, what kind of riding you do, man? I mean, my thing is if you're doing curves, you stick with Öhlins. You stick with the good Öhlins. You don't do the Harley mesh with Öhlins. The Screaming Eagle stuff, I don't believe in it. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't believe in a lot of things that Harley tries to do performance-wise. Anything else, I believe in Harley. So, factory parts, if something were to ever go wrong and I needed a new, you know, cover or valve cover, anything that needs to be specific, like very precise, I stick with Harley. But suspension, anything aftermarket, I'd rather go that route than Harley. But I don't know what kind of ride you're doing, and I don't know how fast you're trying to go, but Legends is up there with Öhlins. Öhlins is just a lot more expensive to me. They even got this one from Germany. I can't think of the name of it. If I think of it, I'll shout it out to you. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, it's a good suspension. You know what I mean. So this clutch, I don't know if you got a stock clutch. I don't know what kind of clutch you have, but my clutch now with the Easy Pull is lighter than a stock clutch. I mean, it's actually like 2 fingers together type of a light. That could Wilbur's, yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Brian. It is Wilbur's. No, there's nothing wrong with Öhlins, man. It just all depends on the type of riding you do. I noticed that a lot of the guys that throw the bikes in the curves, a lot of the guys with the high, the bars, like the T-bar setup, most of those guys run Öhlins. Öhlins is expensive. Öhlins is nice. I'll give Öhlins that. But it's too much for me. I don't need the performance side of Öhlins. I mean, good stuff though. The PPF covering. All right, so I got a few buddies who do it, and I'm going to ceramic coat my bike very, very, very soon. The weather's just been trash down here, and you know, for the guy to do it, I don't want him to have any issues with weather and, you know, taking more time. So if you like, if you're meticulous, you'll keep your bike at home. All right, you needed a weekend, I can give it to you weekend, but I immediately want my bike back as soon as it's done. I want it back on Monday, you know what I mean? So ceramic coat, the bike will be ceramic coated. It does have a lot of flying scratches in it, and you should be able to get those out. But as far as the PPF, you can try it. They really don't make anything that's going to be very chip resistant. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. Maybe something small hit it, you know, but if you're doing 90 miles an hour, something hits it, I don't know. I mean, look, they do it to cars all the time, but the bike is just a whole nother animal when it comes to rocks. It's so much lower to the ground. I got a buddy who has PPF on his front fender. It started coming off. I don't know why, but you know, those are just the chances you take with stuff like that. Let's see what else we got. Wilbur's is a good suspension, but Wilbur's is super expensive, man. Out of my price range, I can't see doing it. Guys, when I say price range, I don't mean like what the average number would be. I mean like it's gotta be $1,000, $2,000 over what most of the suspensions are, you know, that you get made in America. So, yeah, man, Legends. Hey, Legends is where it's at, you know, and you don't realize how bad your bike rides until you put a suspension on the bike. I'm gonna tell you guys like that. Like in the beginning, I never had a problem with it. My suspension, I just knew watch out for potholes. You know, normal like taking care of your bike type of a ride. But once you start, let me back you guys up a little bit too. But once you start, hold on, guys, hold on. Yeah, the old Home Depot bucket. Once you start riding or ride somebody else's bike and kind of see how their suspension is actually like if it's a good suspension, then you're going to change it. Now, I told you guys in the video, if you change the front, you're gonna notice the back is shit. If you change the back, you're gonna notice the front is shit. I did mine at the same time because I don't know if it's OCD or what the word is, but I hate for anything to be not right, not perfect, not, oh, we're gonna fix it later. I don't want to hear that. I want to get it done now. I'd rather pay it now and get on with it, man. Hey, you buy once, you cry once. OC, what's happening? Let me see. What else we got going on? What else y'all want to know? Pick my brain while I can, man, while I'm still awake. Let me let you guys know a little bit more. Like I said, I want to do story time with you guys. I've been drag racing a long time. I'm just now starting to drag race Harleys. There's a lot of similarity between the two, and I'm not talking about like the way you ride them, but the way you set them up. I'm gonna have a video coming out about that. You guys been seeing me do a lot with these companies, putting the parts on my bike, letting you guys know how I really feel about the part. I'm never gonna give you the BS story. I'm gonna give it to you straight. But let me tell you what I'm doing. Just because it might seem a little bipolar right now, I'm doing it so you don't have to do it. If they, I won't say give me a part because it's never free, but if they do say, hey, here, we can do this for a part for you, I'm gonna do it. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna say, hey, I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you guys, it ain't for me. This rear fender, this nice rear fender, came out perfect. The paint was perfect, it fit perfect. But what I didn't like was it's too low. It doesn't really match my style. Now, I couldn't tell that from looking at it in the picture, but once I put it on, boom, I didn't like it. Cajun HD, I'm reading your question. The front fender is, you're having a clearance issue with the engine guard? If you have I don't know what bike you have. Do you have a 21 with the low crash bar? Let me know. And like I said, I got the I don't even know what they call this one again. It's the mustache or just the lower, smaller crash bar. I didn't have a problem. And I even rode around with it on the stock fender, which is big and bulky. Never hit, nothing like that. But remember, when you get a 21 front fender, you should be getting risers with your kit. So it shouldn't hit either way. It shouldn't hit. Yeah, mine never hit. Who put it on for you? Or you don't want to say that part? I don't know. I mean, because I take it back to them. That's me. And they should have knew it was hitting. End up having to drop the front end to get the bike back how it should be. CBO style crash bar. Any issues with mine? Yeah, hey man, I ain't have no issues with mine either. Now, if you in a wheelie and you fall, and you slam the bike down, you might catch a bump if you don't have some kind of a tighter suspension or something like that. But I mean, that's the only thing I've ever. You got to look at it. People do it all the time. You know. What else we got? Did I miss anybody's questions? Yeah, bro, you gotta have those spaces in there. Don't worry. I mean, I got a video coming, and since you guys are watching it live, by the time, maybe by next week or so. I don't know yet. I don't know when I want to do this video. I like to put my stuff in order, but I will show you the front fender, installing the front fender, the clearance, and even how you set up a front fender, because I think some guys might think you just slap it on there, and that's not the way it goes. It's got to be put on correctly. I'll just leave it at that. It's just too much to try and explain through live. All these boxes over here, man, I'll tell y'all this now. They all have something in them. All of those boxes have something that's going on the bike. Another thing, when I get a product to review, I'm not a big time reviewer. That's why I don't like to do the whole install thing. You guys can pretty much figure it out on your own, watching somebody else's YouTube. You guys pretty much want to see the end product and what I think and how it fit and if it works or it doesn't work. So to save you guys the money and the hassle from trying to pick what brand or what company to go to, I'm trying to just get, something from everyone. Let's see how it works. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Maybe this company has a good, front fender. Maybe this company has the better back fender. Guys worry about that. They think about it, and it's a lot of money, man. I mean, a rear fender costs $1,000 on my bike. That's crazy. A front fender is like $700 and change. That's ridiculous. And who wants to make that mistake? Now, I've seen different companies make their products in different ways because either one, copyright issues, or two, they think that they found a better way or an easier way for an average Joe to put their stuff together. So I'll try and go over a lot of that stuff later on once we get there, though. Damien, I appreciate it, man. We worked hard on this bike, and just for shit talking purposes, there's a lot of people out there that might think that they have a better looking snake venom than me. All right? They don't. This snake venom is probably the best one I've ever seen. And I'm talking shit, so just in case somebody's out there and they're peeking through our window right now, this is the baddest snake venom that I've ever seen somebody out on the street with. There's nobody I've ever seen that I can say that bike looks better than this one, man. It is what it is. I've seen big wheel kits on these, on this color. I've seen chrome version, everything's all chrome on it. I've seen all that stuff, and I still go back to mine because I think I've hit every point on this bike. And you guys can't see it, but there's so much little extra stuff done to this bike that any bike that, those guys get a lot of ideas from me. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. There's certain things you need to be doing on a bike like this so it doesn't look like it came out of No Limit video. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like I'm just saying it didn't look like it's all flashy. It's not that. It actually looks pretty docile from what I've seen out there. The seat? What you mean? You can go and get the seat now. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, bro. The seat's out, but you have to call to get the seat because they haven't put it on the website yet. So just make sure you use my code. Tell them, hey, I want to use the code now because, you're not buying it through their website. So call them up and get it that way, because, I mean, if somebody picks up the phone when you call, you better tell them everything at once. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. You call these other people, you might not ever hear from them again. So give them a shout. Their number's on their website. I don't do anything with that. So call them, give them the code, tell them Mac sent you, whatever you want to say. They're going to hook you up. What seat you got? Don't tell me you got a Saddleman seat. What seat you got? Damien, I ain't trying to brag, but you know, I had to go from the inside out. This is all I haven't taken one idea from anybody. Not one idea. I'm talking about front wheel, rear wheel. I know you guys never seen my rear wheel. That'll be another video for a later time. Yeah, man, that Saddleman, bro. Hey, that Saddleman's kicking people's ass right now. It's hard as a brick. Just my opinion. I ain't hating on Saddleman. I'm not shooting shots at them. But from my air filter or my air cleaner, to just the little things that you probably won't be able to see here. All the little things I've done to the bike, the way it sounds, the way it runs, the way it just, you know, it actually performs. It's not just something to look at. It actually does what I built it for. It's not a rally that I'm going to, but I am doing Daytona next weekend. So if you're going to Daytona, hit me up. I will be out and about. I'm coming up on Friday. Friday to Sunday. And I think it starts on a Thursday. But it's Daytona. Yeah, man, that Saddleman, bro. Hey, listen. I never bought one. And I've sat on a few, and I felt like that seat didn't belong on a motorcycle, you know. It felt like I was sitting on cardboard. You know, it was firm, but, you know, if you maybe are heavy enough, it might be comfortable, but I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, put that seat up for sale. Maybe somebody will buy it, you know. So the complete audio setup. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, man. It's a whole diamond audio setup with what amps I have up there. I got some sound digital amps. That's it, man. It's nothing spectacular. It's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? The big thing is who you go for tuning. Who you go to for tuning, who you go to, you know, make sure when you do get a setup, they are running the proper gauge wire. You know, you got to go to somebody who has a good reputation so you don't have to worry. Because me and you, we don't know that much about installing a setup, but we know it sounds good. We know it is not catching on fire, so that you know, that's something to look at. But it is a diamond audio setup from front to the back. And my tour pack, all diamond. Lone Star Rally. Okay, so I am going to another event. It's in November in Mississippi. I don't have the particulars on that yet. These other trips that you guys are going on, I'm going to try and take a few more trips this year coming. But guys, you guys know, I have limited amount of time, so I either have to tow the bike to try and get through the night, because, you know, I want to get there, enjoy my trip, and then be able to get back home and not have an issue. And I know how y'all feel about that, all right? But I mean, a couple hours, yes, I could do it, because I know I can get back home quick. But I work. I got a job too, you know what I mean? So certain things I can and can't do, but I'm definitely going to try and hit Texas. I'm going to hit Cali. I just don't know when. I'm going to figure out an event to go to. I want to go to Sturgis, but like I said, I mean, that's going to be one thing where I give that camp trailer game, baby, you're right. So that'll be something that I put it on the train. It gets there before me and I fly over. I did look at the LS2 Valiant. The only difference, this is me, this is what I've taken from it. Now, I think the LS2 Valiant is built a little bit better, but it's heavier. what the hell is the name of it? It's a Scorpion. I'll go look at it in a second. It's a Scorpion. Matter of fact, it's a Scorpion Exotech. It's light. And I like my helmets light. Hey, listen, Sully 359. I have to put the bike on a trailer, man. If I could just go and take a whole week off work, boom, I'll do it. I'll make the ride, but I can't do it. Michigan, what's happening, man? Hey, listen, don't be jealous because we're dealing with a bunch of rain right now. You know, we just had a hurricane last week. That's nothing to be jealous about until it starts snowing up there. Hey, that's a whole other story. The 21 doesn't change nothing at all to me. It feels, I got used to it in about 15, 20 minutes. I'll give you that. Maybe because the tire was brand new and that's what I was feeling. Once the tire was worn in, it felt pretty much the same. I couldn't tell, like it doesn't feel any different when I take the bike out and ride it. Now, it does get a little taller. Somebody asked me about suspension. My suspension is already lowered. I think I have 13 in the back. When it's compressed, it's a little short. I think it goes to 12. The front is an inch lower. It's the Legend suspension, Axio 21. I did a video with, and I tried to explain it as best I could in the video. Check it out if you didn't. Hey, Sully, y'all gotta take the trip to Florida, man. Y'all gotta do, I don't know if you do it already, but you gotta do these Daytona trips too, man. Y'all come my way. Remember, Florida's like, in the motorcycle world, considered 2 states, right? Because it takes so long to get out of Florida, especially when you hit the panhandle and try to get up out of here. What's up? What we got? Alfonso. Yeah, I mean, 21 versus what though? I mean, are you looking at another size wheel besides that 21, or are you thinking about keeping it stock? All my guys out there, I got 7,000 miles, a little over 7. Let me see what we got. I know we got a little over 7,400. I'm doing Daytona this weekend coming. We're gonna have over 8. Remember. Yeah, the current, you said, okay. I'll get back to the suspension and everything in a second. I got 7,400 miles on my bike. I'm taking a trip this weekend to Daytona, 2.5 hours up, 2.5 hours back. But I just want you guys to understand this. If there's anybody out there that says, you know, big motors can't take miles, big motors don't live long, big motors don't blah, 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 blah. This is a perfect example because the guys who've been day one have seen this bike come from 800 miles at least on up. So from 800 to 75, I don't do the math, we'll just call it 6,000 miles or 6,500 miles or something like that. We'll call it that. I've put that on this motor, never had an issue. So if you're getting, you know, a motor done by another guy and he's telling you, oh no, you can't do that type of stuff, it's too this, it's too that, don't go to him. Go somewhere else, go to Georgia if you have to. One thing I do know about Harley guys, they will travel to get things done to their bike if they know it's gonna be worth it. Okay. OC, tell him again. My buddy has a 23 inch front wheel, right? It's still a performance bike. It's still a racing bike, but he has the iRide on it, and he loves it. So, you know, 21, 23, I mean, sometimes the 23 scares people. It does throw it off maybe a tiny bit, but I mean, you're still doing over 100 miles an hour on it, and you're not shaking, and you're not doing all that other crazy stuff. Remember, it just leans a little further, and there's just more front wheel out there when you're trying to make a turn, man. But the 21 pretty much rides like stock. That's why you can still pretty much put your front fender, your stock front fender on there. It's not that big of a difference, especially when you have a suspension. So you were asking about the seat. Hey, if you're bringing it to George, get what you know what? I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, okay? I'm gonna have a raffle coming soon. I don't know when we're gonna do it, and this is only for the 38 people who are on here watching, because I'm not gonna say this again. I'm having a raffle coming up soon, and it's going to be to get something done to your engine by George. Okay, you don't have to come out of pocket on anything. All you need to do is be able to get the bike down here. That's all I'm gonna tell you. If you think it's a good idea, say something now. I'll put it together. If you don't think it's a good idea, say, hey, now, I'm coming from wherever. Hey, what do you say, Michigan? I can't do it. It ain't worth it for me. So the Venom seat is so new that I haven't seen it yet. But remember, the Scorpion is all over down here. The Scorpion seat is everywhere. I've seen a few of the Freedom seats, but most of these guys down here are running the Freedom. I'm running the Scorpion seat. They like the low profile. They like that CVO style of a look. But just my opinion, it's so much more of a. He gave you the best of both worlds. I told him, I'll be honest with you. I said I didn't like the style of the Freedom because it was just too. I didn't like the backrest. All right, and I'll leave it at that. I didn't like the backrest, but I liked the comfort. You couldn't beat the comfort. So they said, you know what? That's a good idea. We'll mesh them both together, and that's what they did. And then they have the, they have the Venom seat, but comfort, grip, keeps you locked in the seat. I put a guy on his bike the other day and just let him sit on it. He's like, bro, it feels like I'm locked in. It feels like I ain't going nowhere. But that's what you want. Remember, this has a little flex in it. You gotta have the flex in it because when you move, you might every now and then you gotta kind of move around. And when you hit a bump, you can't be on a pogo stick either. So, is the rear Pillion comfortable for the ladies? Come on, man. Absolutely. I ain't gonna be. I have mine sitting over here. I don't even run it anymore. But they like it because it's has a better shape to it. It doesn't have that stock Harley slope in the back and they feel like they're sliding off. It doesn't have that, it's almost like they gotta hug you like you're on a sport bike again. Nah. You're not getting that no more. You got a real seat, you blow right past that. Okay, so the Venom is a little thicker. Quarter of an inch? You know what I mean? Quarter of an inch thicker. Because the gel is that much thicker, which is a good thing because now you are going to get more hours out of the seat. I can't make it up. I sat up there and I went on live one night, but I'd already been riding the bike all day. And this was the end of the night when I was going to take the bike home, and I just started, pretty much playing with the bike and rode it a little hard just to see am I feeling something? Am I not? Am I tired of it? Is my back hurting? Am I moving around? No issues. What else we got? Okay, I see some of y'all said it was a good idea, so I want to put it in the works. I just got to get, some things together. George is already on board. I already mentioned it to him, guys, so it is something that can definitely happen. I just got to make it right for you guys, and I got to make it right on my end. And I got to figure all the little details out. But I want somebody to come down here, experience it, come take a ride with us when the bike is done, go get lunch, and you load up or however you getting back home and you're on your way. Now, time frame wise, a lot of these things can be done in one day, just depending on what we decide to do with the engine. Now, remember, you never get a warranty when you're doing race bikes. Some people claim to give you a warranty, right? I get it. They can claim to give you that warranty. But you're going to wait about 6 months to get the bike fixed. And are they going to give you what you're really asking for from the bike? Just my thing. But George always take care of you. You get an issue and it happens early, something like that, and it's something you can tell a part failed, because parts really don't fail as often as people say. But if it's a part that fails, he's going to take care of it, man. I mean, most of these things, like I said, it can be done in a day. But we got it. We're going to come up with something. Okay, so hold on, let me see what you got. Okay. And you know what? Occasionally I plan on getting some a different color wire under there. You know, throw them up under the just haven't gotten around to it, man. Playing around. I don't know. Yeah, stock exhaust on that bike. Do you have a stock exhaust? Who asked me that? Where's this disrespect coming from? Do I have a stock exhaust? Did I read that right? No, man, hold on, let me get up. Hold on, OC, let me. Yeah, man, if I had a stock exhaust on my butt. Nah, brother, that ain't stock exhaust. Let me go to the back of that bike. Let me show you. D&D Billy Cat, man. I'm just joking with you, man. Billy Cat, man. One of the best exhausts you're gonna get. High horsepower bikes run exhaust like that. And I had to do it. Expensive, but worth it. What else? Did I change my clutch out? Nah, it's not slipping. Took the bike out the other day. Nah, man, it's all good, man. I'm joking with you. Took the bike out the other day. Bike ran fine, didn't slip. Like I said, man, I'm beating on the bike. The only thing I did have to do is tighten the chain up because I am chain drive. So one thing you have to look out for is keeping that chain lubed and keeping that chain tight because it will ruin a ride hearing a chain slapping around. It just drives me crazy, and I always keep my stuff lubed and I always keep it together. Hey, let's tell him to make me one. You know what? I asked him to make this seat. He made it for me. He might be able to hook me up with a real seat. Well, what else we got? Oh, see, remember, I'm running that Ames lockup, man. It does the job. I mean, for what I'm doing, because you remember, you don't want to go to a clutch that you have to adjust to make it slip. You want to just get something that'll lock up and learn how to ride it. An adjustable clutch that you can adjust. You won't like the way it rides on the street on a day-to-day basis. Trust me, I know. Rob, you ain't gotta do me like that. Hey, I'll say the same thing. Now, tip good people, man. Tip good people. But like I said before, there's no snake venom that's doing what I'm doing. I don't care if he think he's faster, then he don't look better than me. If he don't look better than me, then I'm faster. I'm going, listen, my bike, in my opinion, is the only opinion that counts. My bike is gonna stay on top for as long as I have it. Hey, it's clean, right? The paint job is clean, but I've noticed other people who have it, if they don't keep their bikes up, it looks like crap. I sat my bike next to a bike at a shop one day, and it was a snake venom bike, and I almost wanted to say to him, like, don't take care of your bike. Oh, I mean, it's a specific color you got to take care of. Hey, man, hey, don't laugh at Rob, man. Rob trying to start something, man. You know what I'm saying? Get my blood pressure up. E85. I'll go back to it. I'm just reading somebody else's comments real quick, dude. Okay, so E85, any bike can run it, but you have to watch my video to know how to run it. You can't go just put it in from the pump. Your bike got to be set up for it. It's not very difficult to do if your tuner where you're at knows how to set up a bike for E85. Remember, guys, I want you guys to understand this. I treat this bike like I treat my race bike. Anything my race bike has, my Harley has. E85, all the different things, the suspension, you name it. If that bike has it, this bike has it. They're basically in the same lane in their worlds, okay? Motor-wise, all those different things. So, all we did was bring sport bike world over to the Harley world. Harley started building these M8s. I don't think there's nothing better than an M8. Once they started doing that, we pretty much saw that, listen, the same thing that works for these bikes that's been tested and people have gone through and all that stuff, you can do it to this bike. That's how you stay ahead of the game. It is what it is. Are you running a Harley rear tire or a low profile tire? I'm not running a Harley tire, I'm running a drag racing tire. It's an aftermarket, very soft drag racing tire. Doesn't last long. And it doesn't even come in an 18-inch. Eric might be on the road glide for Daytona. Hold on. What's going on here? Road glide ST. Okay. Hey, come on out, man. Hey, twin cams do their thing, man. They take the miles, they take the abuse. Let me go back one. Okay, so my quick shifter. That quick shifter is good when you need it. Let me take that back. It's good when you can use it, if that makes more sense. You have to, it's only set up for wide open throttle, okay? Anything else other than that, it feels clunky, boom, 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 because it's cutting the ignition off, which is cutting the fuel, which shuts the bike down, so it shifts super fast, but you have to be going fast to even feel it shifting for you or helping you shift. If you're cruising around town going from first to second gear, you're gonna feel a little delay because that's the kill time, if this makes sense. The time that it takes for the ignition and everything to kill and come back on. So if you high RPMs and you running that bike hard, it'll sound like you have, you know, an automatic or an air shifter and it's getting you through the gears. But other than that, if you're not doing that, there's no point in even buying one of those. My opinion. Have I played with the Indian brand yet? I've ridden an Indian, and that's all I can say about it. Now, let me tell you this, man. Me and my buddy came up with this the other day. Whatever Harley does, Indian has to feel like they're better. They have to do one step better. If Harley comes out with a 114, Indian's coming out with 115. 116, I mean, you know, it's just like everything. If it's a 107, it's a 108. And I'm just talking shit numbers. If it was a 121, they would come out with a 122. Whatever it is, they're just going to do that to Harley. But at the end of the day, the aftermarket is so aggressive for Harleys that you can't beat it. And the guys who make these parts are young guys too. So, you know, they're going to stick with Harley. They're not going to run to Indian to make those parts. But the Indian ride's nice, has some decent power. But once you start getting into the aftermarket, Harley has his name, man. Harley has his name. All right, so they can feel like they outperform Harley, right? Remember, you're taking a bike that is made for a specific person, right? Just the average Joe, ride, cruise, do this, do that, right? He's not doing any performance. But then when you step into the performance world with a Harley, Indians can't step into that world because they don't have enough aftermarket backing. So now Harley runs off. Listen, okay, I will say this. Indian is fast on the racetrack with a big, large budget and one custom pieces made for it. If they start to mass produce, they might be okay, but they're not going to do it. They don't have enough backing. They don't have it. And they got to stay in business first, my opinion. Don't let him talk to you like that. If he has a problem, if he got a fast Harley, if he's got something, you can just tell him to come see the Snake Venom over here, Bipolar Betty. We'll take it with my lesson. Yeah, they don't outperform. They just come with a lot of goodies from the factory, but they can't upgrade from there. That's the problem. What stage do I have? Street Glide 21. Now, everybody who knows me and everybody in the YouTube family out here, it's not a stage, and I'll say it like that. It's not a stage. It's more of an aftermarket custom setup. Something that, you know, R&D was done. We tried this, we tried that, we tried what is the bike like, and then we figured out what the bike like, and we're running with it from there. Fast bike, man. I'll say that. Listen, I got some guys out here who watch me, and they tell me that they're watching because they want to see how to beat me. If you're from Florida, South Florida, you really know me, if you know me from being around, you know, I'm Palm Beach, Broward, Dade County, and if you know, then you know exactly what I mean when I just made that statement. A lot of the YouTube world don't know. Everybody else knows. And I'm a hard person to beat, and I'm very competitive, so I keep a lot of my stuff a secret until it's time to move on. I'll say it like that. If I move on from this package, I'll tell y'all what it is. But until I move on from this package, I haven't needed to move on from it yet. But like I said, it's a higher horsepower engine, very reliable, not anything too wild and crazy like some of these guys claim they have. 190 horsepower and 180 foot-pound of torque. And, you know, say those things, it's not that. It's not a unicorn. It's not, you know, somebody, whatever, man. I won't even go into that subject. But it's just something that good for the street, good for the highway, good for the racetrack. Street Glide 21. Where you say you're in Palm Beach? Okay. All you have to do is just ask a few more people. They'll tell you. Did I upgrade my speakers system? Yes, I did, sir. Go on my YouTube and you'll see how many times I actually upgraded it, because I'm on like my third setup. Well, second setup on this bike, but I had a killer setup on my Street Glide. So go check it out. Oh. Damn it. Hey, I'm going to tell, because I don't know if they're trying to hide his message, but let me tell you what he said. He said, I might tolerate a little shit talk from an Indian, but not a gold wing. I give them no air. You know what? Damn if you do and damn if you don't, because, look, we're going to show that. We all know. Yes, man. Yeah, the cranberry one. There you go. We all know how gold wings are. Now, I've seen gold wings get down in the street, and I'm talking about drag race, and they were keeping up. I'll be honest with you, they were keeping up with some 131s. Remember, they have a gold wing that's, I don't even know what it's called, I don't know enough. It was an automatic. All he did was twist the gas, and he was getting, you know, he'd take off on them, but then, you know, then it's the fight that happens after that. But hey, gold wing ain't gonna play around either, man. They get in there and tussle. I ain't saying they fast, but they quick. And they gonna get you from here to damn California or wherever you wanna go, like you was in the car. So I ain't gonna sleep on them. They do their thing. Let me see what else we got here. Yeah, we ain't got, listen, matter of fact, I was riding the other day, and I went around a guy on the gold wing. Cool dude, man. I know him, but I don't know him. You know, and I'm like, man, get out my way. Bro, you know, I make that thing bark. Bro. And I go around him, and out of nowhere, he's like, I don't even hear the bike. He going over a train track. I'm like, shit, I got to slow down. You know, he blasting through there. Yeah, you can't, and a lot of the times, yes, gold wings are for older gentlemen, I'll say it like that. But they still can put music in these bikes. They got a button for everything. What more can you ask for out of a motorcycle, especially something that is as reliable as a damn Honda? I mean, you and they got a reverse. You're right. You can't beat it. Now, if Honda got serious and wanted to compete with Harley and Indian, they would damn sure knock Indian off the block. They gotta bring the price down a little bit, but they would damn sure knock Indian off the block. And then, you know, it's gotta sound better than a 4-cylinder, but you know, that's the way it is. What else we got here? I'm getting a lot of phone calls while I'm talking to y'all. I'm just going through the messages. Oh, somebody just came on here with the disrespect. Listen, y'all better relax with that Honda VTX. I got a buddy who's got one. It's loud as a damn. I don't even like. It sounds like it just somebody took the catalytic convert, like running open headers. And you know, it's not a bagger, but I guess you could put bags on it. So does that make it a bag? Like all the foot controls are not like really far out there. I mean, they're like midway controls that I can't get into it, man. Hey, listen, everybody can try. You can try. Hey, Jeffrey, what year is your 1800, your Honda? Oh, we're trying to race it. Fonzo, hey, listen, the newer ones, they do run pretty good, man. They do run pretty good. I won't take anything from them. There's a guy that actually came out to the race spot. I think I put him in the video. Matter of fact, he was in the video. He was in the video running the bike. And, Jeff done told the story. Now, yeah, okay. Well, hey, no more comments from you, man. No more comments from you. But yeah, the guy was actually out there running that damn bike. I mean, it was spin tires, hook and book. Hey, at least you glide now, okay? We're gonna give you a pass. Don't ever come back and erase all memories of having that Honda, all right? Let's see what else we got. Oh, let me go back a little bit, guys, because I want to talk about this real quick. I just want to make sure I'm doing it the right way. I'm doing a raffle. It's not a giveaway. It's going to be a raffle. We're going to do a engine setup. It's not going to be anything too crazy, but it's going to be better than average. I don't know how I'm going to do all the, you know, the situation with the, you know, the tickets and all that different stuff. I'll figure it out. Once I figure it out, me and George are going to get together. We're going to get a recipe together for whoever wants to actually enter and win. And then the guy who wins, he'll be the only one to know. And hopefully, when he comes and brings the bike, picks up the bike, does all those different things, we can get it, we can document it, and I can put it out there for the rest of the guys to see. I'm not one of those guys that, you know, try and make any money off of this, because it's just not me. It's not my style. This is not how I make a living. This is just me having a little fun. So, like I said, if you are interested, the more people I see that are interested in some type of way, I will be more apt to put it out there, because there's no sense in me putting it out there, because Florida is probably far away for a lot of you guys, and I don't want somebody to make a 10-hour, 11, 12-hour trip for something they're really not, you know, looking for, you know. So just keep that in mind. Alfonso, you now that's what I'm talking about. I saw the word gold wing and I got scared for a second, but you cleared it up. M8s. Tough motor, man. Peppy motor. Quick, fast. even. You can't beat it. You can't. That's something you can put miles on. You can hit that button. You can guarantee you're going from A to B. 2018, okay? Remember, when they first started with those 107s, 17 I think it was, when they first started with the, you see how quickly they were like, okay, we got to revamp it real quick. Let's come out with the 114, but at the same time, let's come out with a way to fix all those little sumping issues, the, I forgot what the oil plate issue, all those issues. They said, okay, let's fix it now. I don't know if they gave out warranties or, you know, recalls, I mean, and fixed that, a lot of that other stuff. But, you know, if they didn't and they showed you how you can upgrade it, that's good enough sometimes. You know what I mean? Because it's not that expensive to upgrade. And the M8's just been the dominating motor. Now, the 103s, which were the twin cams, right? More expensive to work on, just from what I've always saw. More expensive to work on. The reliability was there, taking the miles, but you didn't want to build them up to make them a super engine, you know, make them very competitive, and then still think you're gonna get the reliability, because the amount of money you put in that twin cam, I can put half of it in this, and I'm either be just as fast or faster. Harley definitely needs to add a radiator, but I think the Limited comes with the 2 little radiators. I mean, to cool the heads. Remember this, Harley goes up on their prices every couple of years. The more stuff they add, the more stuff they're gonna tax us. So then they try to take something else away to compensate that extra money that they gotta shell out for everybody else. So if they had a radiator, it'd be a much nicer bike. Yeah, I mean, shit, if they put a reverse on this thing, I'd be, hey, I put my hand on that seat back there. I put my hand back in, start putting this thing in reverse. Yeah, if you have an M8, what can possibly beat it? I mean, it's, if these, okay, let me take a step back. We got a lot of clubs down here, you know, Harley bike clubs. These guys put 20,000, 40,000 miles a year, in 1 year, on that M8, and all they're doing is changing the oil, keeping the oil change. Harley's gonna stick with M8 if they smart. I mean, it's like you can go bigger. You don't need to change it from an M8. You know, the special could be a 117 now. You know, and then they move that CBO up to a 131. That's just what comes with the kit. Excuse me. Yeah, but if you have an M8 and you've done at least a cam in the bike, you're happy with it. Most people are happy with it. When I had my cam, I was happy with it. And I knew it was gonna be reliable. But remember, I'm a little extra, man. I did the cam, this expensive ass exhaust, the manifold, the air cleaner, the throttle body, and E85. So I wanted the best performance I could get out of that stage 2 package, is what most of you guys would call it. So with that, I'm just saying, you know, there's a guy out there that says, oh, your Harley doesn't need any more horsepower. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. Only people who say that aren't going fast, or aren't going quick, aren't doing getting around traffic like they want to. My opinion. If you have it, it's better, what they say, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. If I jump on the highway and I turn the gas and I want to get in the far lane, I don't want to be looking back, I want to be looking forward. Let's see what we got. This is my all right, so yeah, man, there's no such thing as too much power. You're right, man. All right, so hey, so since you came from 1198, right? I got a question for you, and and this is a question that I ask a lot of guys who come from sport bikes. How old are you, first of all? OC. I was talking to OC. Boosted M8. Okay. I'm asking you how old you are because I met two guys. Watch this. Okay. All right. So you kind of out of this equation, but you're still in it too. I asked two guys the other day, and they were getting a motor done at George, and this is just me having a conversation. I'm like, you know, whatever the conversation was, you know, he's building this, he's doing that, and I'm like, yeah, you know, how old are you? And this dude says, oh, I'm 23. And I was stunned. Another guy, his buddy, how old are you? Building a motor too. How old are you? I'm 24. And I'm saying to myself, Harley is the new sports bike, man. These guys are 23, 24 years old and jumping right over that sport bike fantasy world. I mean, yes, they're fast. We get it. But it's nothing like having the comfort and enjoying the ride and being able to go fast. If I want to go fast, I want to go fast on my Harley. Listen, I might go over there and turn the key and the battery might be dead. That's the last time I pulled that bike out. It's not enjoyable. I don't care how much slower one is than the other. Everything I have in this one, I have in the other one. Whatever I got in that sport bike, I got in this one. Rob Bass, turbos on Harleys. Take this for how you want to take it. M8s are strong motors. The bottom end of these M8s can handle some power, okay? When I say that, just because people have horror stories, it's a lot of to do with the builder and the tune. They're slapping turbo kits, stock motors, 131s, and telling this guy to take off, go ride it however far you want. And I've seen it happen. There's nothing better than a turbo kit. Hey, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, this bike got some power, but if I slap a turbo on it, I'm first of all, I'm well over 200 horsepower. I'm not killing my engine. I'm not straining it, trying to get through traffic and all that other stuff. Come on. M8 is a strong motor that doesn't breathe. No, it doesn't breathe. That's why you got to go to the aftermarket world and make it breathe. Singapore in the house. What's happening? But anyway, the Harley world is getting so young. Listen, we're not telling them to go out and buy the Harley, and they're not even buying like low riders. They're buying actual riders. Both those guys have road glides. So that says to me that we're obviously doing something to pull them into our world, because when I was 23, I was not looking at a Harley. It looked like Grandpa's Harley. It was either silver, blue, or black. That was it. Two-toned. I mean, it was garbage. These guys are doing this, and they're not even doing those big wheels, you know, that crazy stuff. They're actually getting out here and riding these bikes, and I like to see that stuff. I'm going to actually have them guys come and talk to us for a second, you know, let's just get their insight on it. Hey, man, go ahead. Hey, I already watched the Bucks play, so now I can come out here and have a conversation. I don't think this shit. George told me to upgrade. Recommend it. Yeah, okay, so I'll say this. George might not like what I say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't gonna know it, but it'll make sense at the end of the day. George tests bikes, George rides bikes, George builds bikes. George is only 30 years old. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. The reason why I say it, and I'm telling you he's only 30 years old, is because the younger guys, the younger generation, what do they do all day? They're gonna research and research how to get better, how to make this work, how to not have this issue. We don't want the bike coming back to the shop for issues. We want to stay on top of the best products all the time. That's what sent me to George. Now, you're asking me if you should ship your bike to George. Yes, but make sure you show up when the bike gets there. You know, you gotta experience it. Hey, George, show me what a stage 2 sounds like. George, show me what a stage 4 sounds like, or your version of this, that, and the other. Because the guy can sit there and walk you through all these different things, because he's gonna know what you want as soon as you tell it to him. Most guys are very vague, but sometimes you gotta pull the question out of them to actually give them what they want. And then if you don't like it, hey, he works with you. This is what you want. Okay, this is what I'm gonna give you, and I'm sure this is what you're gonna like. Older builders don't really give you all of that. And I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say it, but they want to give you what they know that works. I know this works, cookie cutter. Boop, you get it, you get it, you get it, you get it. All you guys got the same thing. It is what it is. Okay, so Joseph. All right, so you got to understand, Florida's a big, big state, right? Young guys, maybe over here, and it's not even the younger guys anymore. It's that 30-ish, 35, you know, that crowd of their style of riding. Remember, when back in the day, or if you ever rode sport bikes, there's all different kind of guys that ride sport bikes. You got the stunt guys, you got the highway speed guys, you got the guys that like to take the curves, right? So when it comes to Harleys here, you have different type of Harley riders. You have the big wheel guys, you have the guys that like to drag race, you have the guys that just like the bar hop. Well, that's what you're gonna get. I don't really hang out with the big wheel guys. They have their own fan base or their own clubs and stuff like that. I hang with the guys who either just ride, the guys that do curves, or the guys that drag race, all mixed into one. Those guys with the taller bikes, with the short bags, with the performance baggers, all those type of different things. So we can't group them all together, but you do have that everywhere, you know. That's just not our style. We're more the performance side of things. But I like seeing women on bikes. You're in Singapore. Woo! Yeah, loud pipes. Okay, so you can always have him put a little bit more quieter baffle in it, but a quieter baffle kills power, sir. So, I mean, do they stop y'all for, is there a way to turn down the sound? Yeah, I mean, it just kind of like deadens the power when you try and make it a little bit more quieter. I mean, you can still use like big collector pipes, like the bigger pipes here, but when it comes to the muffler, that's where we got the issue. And I'm getting dry. Ugh. I got about 5 more minutes, guys, and I gotta wrap it up. Any more questions, hit me up. I got you guys because I didn't give you that video I wanted to give you today. It rained all day. I wanted to put out a nice little video, but I couldn't make it happen. Joseph, where you at? Are you in Florida or like what part of? Right on time. You're in Ohio. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know. You know, I mean, different strokes for different folks. A lot of people don't have, you know, a builder that might be close to them, stuff like that. But guys, I want to remind you one more time, if you're just joining the live, we're trying to come up with a raffle for an engine kit, some kind of build for one of you guys out there. If you guys got any suggestions, any questions, remember, just go to my Instagram. You can DM me. I'll try to answer We don't know what we're going to do yet. Remember, we got to give you something reliable, especially if you're taking this thing back home. We want you to be able to enjoy it, have fun with it. So we got to come out with the little quirks, how much, you know, the tickets will be and stuff like that, and how fast, because whatever we're doing is going to be a one-day turnaround. So if you come if you get there at 7 in the morning, you'll have your bike by that evening or that afternoon. We will probably, and I'll try to make it happen on my end too, you know, we go out for a little ride, go get some lunch or something, and then you load up and, you know, if you're, however you're taking your bike back home. If you're a rider, come down, get you a hotel, leave in the morning. Don't try and leave at night, because I hate our traffic here and the people drive crazy here. So if I were you, you know, leave early that morning and you'll be able to make it out of Florida by that afternoon. I'd rather you guys do it that way. So I am going up, Mario. I'm going to Biketoberfest. You coming from Missouri? Sheesh. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna put a few things together. I'll do a little meetup, something that at least we can all, you know, meet somewhere and, you know, chop it up or something like that. But I'm coming up on Friday, so I'll probably that evening, Friday evening. I'm doing Friday, Saturday, and then I'm leaving Sunday afternoon. So I like to meet whoever's out there, you know, just either give me a shout on, you know, on Instagram, and I'll figure out a good meeting spot, something like that. But I'm glad to see some people are coming. I've never been to Biketober. I go to the regular Daytona, I guess it's the big one. I don't know the difference, but I've never been to this one. I really want to get out there and try and meet up with people and enjoy some better weather, because it's been hot and rainy for the last, I don't know, couple months, and it's miserable. I can't bring my bike out as much as I want, but we're gonna do the raffle. Trust me, it's gonna be good. My bike has 70 to you guys. I think I did like an 800-mile review. The motor's been done since around 1,000 miles, guys. So you guys will actually see that a motor that's not built by Harley is actually getting miles. A motor that's built by Harley that's actually getting miles. Like I said, I got 7,400 miles on it. You guys saw it was 1,000, so we'll call it 6,500 miles. King of the South, where at though? Which one? Because they got so many, man. I don't even know which one. I just went to one. I was supposed to go to another one that was down here. They canceled. So King of the South will have a little sour taste in my mouth right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, you'll actually see that a motor put together by George, last. Like I said, it's nothing too radical, nothing too crazy. It's got more horsepower than any YouTuber you've seen. I can guarantee you that. There's no YouTuber out there with the horsepower I got. And second, when I say that, all those YouTubers are so far north of me that they have better elevation, better weather, better everything, better dynos, that they should see way more power. But they don't. And I can guarantee you their bikes don't run like these bikes. And I'll prove it. I talk a little shit, but I'll prove it. To contact me, okay, Joseph, I'll be up there. Yeah, I think I'll take that one. You can contact me, excuse me, The Real Official Mac on Instagram. The Real Official Mac, all one word. And I'll try my best to answer some questions, man. You know, remember, I'm not a mechanic, but I've been around bikes so long. I've only ever worked on sports bikes. I've never really put my hands on Harleys, but it's pretty much, you know, the concept is the same. The parts are different. Guys, I'm glad you joined me each and every time you guys decide to join me. But I gotta go. Till the next time, guys. Peace.